everyone, I'm Jodi and welcome to my channel. I'm really glad that you're here today. So if you are like me, you love spring trends, summer trends, but you also want to look yourself. So today we are going to take this look and I'm going to walk you through step by step. It's a fun bronzy type, golden type look that can look good on almost every skin tone, and you don't need to rush out and buy a bunch of new products. We're just going to take a look at the products that we have on hand and use those maybe in areas of our face that we hadn't thought of before. So before we get started, a few things to think about. You want to take a look at your foundation and then grab whatever bronzer you have. If you don't have a bronzer, then pick out an eyeshadow that is 1 to 2 shades darker than the foundation that you're using. You're also going to want to grab your highlighter if you have one, and if not, some sort of light frosted eyeshadow, small glitter pieces if at all possible. And then you want to put them all together just to see if they look good together and do they have the same tones. And then your favorite eyeshadow palette, whatever that is. So for me, what we're going to use today to do this look is I use the By The Rose by ColourPop. I just use this little darker color here and I'll walk you through how we did that. In addition to that, I wanted to see how that's going to look next to my bronzer. So I used the Dior number 3 and just paired those two together to make sure that was a look I wanted. And then last but not least, I put it all together. Then I pulled in my cheek color and my lip gloss. And so once I had all of those things sitting on the table in front of me to make sure, are those all gonna look good together? And you guys, if you've watched my tutorials before, you know this is how I always put my look together. I just say, all right, how do those colors look? Are they gonna match well together? And if the answer is yes, then I use them. If I think, no, probably not the right colors, maybe those eyeshadows aren't the right color, I'll swap out that palette for a different palette, or I'll switch out one of the other components. But for today's look, that's all we did. A little bit of bronzer, a little bit of highlighter. Spoiler alert, our eyeshadow is just that. It's a combination of our bronzer and our highlighter in the center, and a few lip and cheek colors, and voila. So if you want to do this look with me, then stay tuned because we're going to get right to it. But before we do, I just have to remind you that if you have not subscribed to this channel, the little button is right down there. You can just hit the subscribe button. And by the way, about 80% of you keep coming back and watching my videos, but have not subscribed. So I don't know who you are, but the analytics in YouTube tell me that only about 20% of you that are watching the videos have subscribed. I'd love to have you be a subscriber. It means so much to me. It also helps YouTube put these videos in front of others that are interested in this type of tutorial. So without further ado, after you've hit the subscribe button, after you've hit the subscribe button, that's not easy to say. I mean, that alone should get you to hit the subscribe button. I had to say it really fast. Then grab your makeup and put me on pause in your makeup room, in your vanity, wherever you do your makeup, and we will do it together. And if it's too purpley under my eyes and the color correct from Stila just isn't quite enough, then I will reach for this Makeup Forever, the Dullness Erase. And I really love this one because of how yellow it is, which is the color correct for purple. And then I'll let that sit before I put on my concealer. But they're not that purpley today, so I'm just gonna use this concealer and I know that will be plenty. So now that everything is in sort of one tone, if you will, then we are going to start to go in with our foundation. The key to a concealer is just to get it as close to your foundation color as possible, unless it's the concealer under your eyes. Then you'll want to go 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation. So for the foundation today, I'm going to use the new Goss Luxury Cream. You guys, I have been loving this foundation. And I am a self-proclaimed foundation snob, if you will. And this stuff has been remarkably impressive. This is the shade 8, and it's made for all skin ages and all skin stages and all skin types. And I have loved it. It's just a cream foundation. The coverage is fantastic. You can wear this with or without his lightweight, I think it's called lightweight powder, weightless powder. And I've used it both ways and it looks really pretty both ways. Because today is gonna be more of that spring, summer glowy look, I will not use this powder. But if you want the look to last all day and you want not a matte look, but a a less than glowy look, but still real pretty and natural, then you would definitely want to use that powder. It's really finely milled. It's stunningly gorgeous. It doesn't look or wear like a heavy powder. And this is just, this foundation, I've reviewed it and it works so well for aging skin. You don't need much. You guys saw how much I put on this damp beauty sponge. And that's really all I'll need to just spread that throughout my whole face, and it will last all day. Like with or without setting powder, it will last all day. But with that setting powder, it just changes the finish a little bit. It's just been an impressive foundation. I've really been happy with it. So we're just gonna cover all of that up. I am so ready for summer. Are you guys ready for summer? It just seems like it's been, where I live anyway, in the Pacific Northwest, it's just been a longer than usual winter. And we just had snow like a week ago. Luckily it didn't last long, but, and then, you know, there are people in areas on the west that are having terrible fires. So I can't imagine that. And my thoughts are with the people down in Arizona and other areas. I think Texas might have some fires right now. So thoughts and prayers to all of you guys for the kind of weather that you are going through. So you can see how nice and creamy that foundation blends out. It's really beautiful, and this might be my new favorite foundation. I love it. So I will stop bragging about it as if I created it myself. But if I was to create a foundation, it'd be pretty darn close to that one. So Wayne, Goss, and team, really nice job. All right, so now that we have that blended in everywhere and the eyelids match the rest of the face, that's always really an important step. I know I go through that part really quick sometimes, but the inner corners of our eyes, if we don't get that foundation and the concealer inside that part of the eye where it can be a little bit purpley, that is just, it really can change the look of your entire makeup. So I really want to encourage you to make sure that you slow down and put your foundation on the inner corners of your nose. It's an easy place to miss. And then we'll just blend it down. And again, I have it in shade 8, and 8 was a perfect match for me. So if you wear the B40 in YSL All Hours, or the 3.7 in the Tom Ford, then shade 8 here would probably be the right shade for you. So next I'm gonna go in with a different damp beauty sponge, and I'm gonna use this RMS Cream Blush. Now, as I said in the beginning, any cream blush that you have that matches the lip color and the eye color that you wanna use, that's more in those bronzy, gold, warmer tones, then that should be fine. Now this looks probably cool on camera. It's more of a neutral, but it does lend itself more to warm in person. So we're just gonna put a little bit of that on. And because this is a fun spring look, spring-summer look, I just wanna look like I have a little bit of sun kiss right on that section of my cheek. That is about the center of my eye, the height of my eyebrow, and no farther in than that. And then this, we don't want to go too high up, but we're just going to go all the way to the hairline with some upward motion, because you don't want a straight line, because then if you look at that blush on your face from the forward view, it just widens the look of your face. So unless your face is really narrow and you're trying to have a more wide appearance, you're going to want to take this a little bit up in an upward motion. It just helps pull everything up. And then blend that right into the hairline so you can't see where the blush starts or stops. But that RMS is really a great line. It also is from a professional makeup artist. Go ahead and move that out of my way so I don't keep hitting it. Rosemary Swift. And it's a clean brand. And I've really enjoyed using their Sunset Kit. I recommended that in the Sephora sale. It came with a really nice bronzer, a lip tint, and I think this cream lip to cheek, but I'm not sure if this was the one that came in, but this will be linked down below. But again, the purpose of this tutorial is not to make you feel like you have to go run out and buy all these products. It's just about gathering the products that you have and getting them to match the outfit or the look that you're going for the day. So instead of trying to use the palettes that I'm using, you want to use the palettes that will create the look that you want. So that's how I build my look, is just deciding, okay, what do I want the look today? Do I want the look to be a very sophisticated look? Do I want the look to be elegant? Do I want the look to be glam? Do I want soft glam? Do I want sort of a country western type look? Am I going to some festivity in, you know, some western something? You know, do you want a very high society type look? Do you want a natural no makeup look? And then I gather the makeup articles or products from my collection to support the look that I'm going for. From there, we're gonna go with just a little bit of bronzer, because I want to ever so slightly contour just underneath where I put that blush. Now I don't want to create a contour because my cheekbones are already high enough, and if I put contour underneath them, it makes my cheekbones protrude even farther, and that's not what I want, because then it makes this part look more sucked in, and as we age, there's already enough of that thinning of the face. I don't want to add to that. So because my cheekbones are there, I just want to put a little bit of shadow right underneath the blush to create what would be a shadow, not a contour. And I'll do that just about, so the blush started right here, and I'm just gonna contour slightly back and below from that. And then blend it in. We're just trying to create a little bit of a shadow, but again, not a contour. And then I'm gonna take the bigger, fluffier side of this big IT Cosmetics brush, and I'm just using the Dior in 3 in Neutral. And we're just gonna go a little bit of shading again, because we just want to have it look like the sun has been on us, because this is that golden sun-kissed type look, and it just warms up the overall look of the foundation. So again, sort of a figure 8. We're just gonna go across the center of the forehead at the hairline and down through here and then down through here. So a backwards 3 and then a 3 on the other side, or maybe it's not backwards the way you're seeing it, but we're gonna go here, here, and here on both sides. So whatever's easiest to remember, a backwards 3 on both sides or a figure 8. I just wanna warm that up a little bit and give it that nice healthy glow look. Okay, how are you doing? Are you doing it with me? I hope so. I hope you're starting to see the look come together. Very soft, very glowy kind of. That hair has just got a life of its own today. All right, next we'll go to our eyebrows, and I'm just gonna pick up the Pure eyebrow pencil. Now spring and summer typically look, again, is just lighter with everything. I would recommend getting a shade lighter in your eyebrow pencil than you would normally wear if you match your eyebrow pencil to your root color, which is what I would normally recommend throughout the year. As we go into spring and summer, the trend for 2022 is definitely more bushy brow, but a little bit lighter brow. So still full brow, just not as dark. So I would recommend just getting a brow pencil that is a color lighter than your root color. And in this Pure comes, it's a 4-in-1 because it's got the thicker pencil there, the thinner pencil there, and it has the brush. And it does come in 3 colors, I think. I would recommend the Anastasia if you're looking for a wider range of colors, because her ranges are wider. That was brilliantly said, Jodi, way to go. And I'm just gonna go across the bottom just to create a nice soft brow, and then I'll just go across the top so that we can color that in. Now this is the same color as my hair color. I don't have a lighter one, but it is in my cart, and I will be picking it up this weekend because I do want to go a little bit lighter with my brows as we go through summer. And again, if you look at some of the trends, the darker brow is not the trend, but a bushy brow. I don't want to make it too solid of a color, but I do need to give it some shape. Pretty simple so far, right? And now that we've got our brows on, I don't want to say painted on, but they're lightly colored, then we will just go with the eyebrow gel. This is the brow gel by Benefit. Anastasia Beverly Hills has a cleared brow gel. If you don't have a brow gel, it's okay. You can certainly reach for just a little bit of hairspray in a comb or a brush and put the hairspray directly on your little comb or brush and then just comb it through. We're just trying to give a nice healthy look to the brows, and you can certainly achieve that look with some brow gel. Next, we're gonna go to the bronzer that we use to bronze in that figure 8 and grab a fluffy type brush. It doesn't really matter how wide it is, you're just gonna go into a little bit of the crease. So if you don't have one that's this size, if you have one that's smaller, then you'll just cover a little more area. If you have one that's bigger, just be real careful and precise where you put it. So we're just gonna go into the bottom of the lash line outer corner in both sides. Normally we would do a V from the lower lash line out and then up in the eye socket. Here what you wanna do is just not have a V but fill in that outer part of the V. You can just take your eyelid in half and then in half again. And that's the section that you want to color in with your bronzer. So that very outer corner. Now if you don't have a bronzer and you don't use a bronzer, that's okay. Just pick up a brown eyeshadow that is just a few shades darker than your skin tone, because we're not trying to give a true eyeshadow look. We're just trying to give a little bit of shadow to the outer corner of our eye. And then just blend that out slightly, smoke it out just a little bit past out towards your eyebrow so you can barely see it. And we'll do the same on the other side. Have you guys seen some of the new eyeshadow palettes lately? Natasha Denona's got one. And I've seen 2 or 3 of them come out recently with the real neon pastel colors. I have not purchased one. I don't think I would use it other than to do a tutorial with you guys, and then I don't think I would use it again, so I'm not gonna purchase one. At my age, I don't know that I would wear pastel colors. I've seen people that do, and they look stunningly beautiful, and I love people that can just wear whatever they want and not care about like this age stigma. I try to do that. I just think with my hair color and my eye color, too bright of a eyeshadow looks a little unnatural on me. I mean, we all saw what that blush looked like the other day. It was not pretty. All right, so we're just gonna, again, pull that out. It's okay if it goes a little bit below that outer corner of your eye, but you don't want it to drag below. Okay, so far it should look something like that. All right, next what you're gonna wanna do is pick up your highlighter. Now, I am going to use the Stila in Kitten. I've recently talked about this. You guys, I love this highlighter because it's so creamy. It's so creamy. It feels as though it is a liquid, but it's not. It's a powder, but it is the most finely milled powder. You can't see a glitter speck in it. It's just so natural. I'm just gonna press it on my finger, and then I wanna press it into the rest of the eye, so the remaining 3/4 of the eye, hitting the inner corner, staying below the socket. Now, if you have hooded eyes, you'll want to go on your eyelid as well as above when your eye is open, a little bit above that so that you can see this color behind your lashes, between your lashes and your eyebrow. And we're going to go all the way over our eyeball and then meet into that darker color that we just put. Yeah, I really do think this, oh man, this highlight, I wish you guys could feel it. It is just the most creamiest, silkiest, amazing, yummy highlight. I mean, can you see how pretty that goes on? It's just, yeah, and this one's Kitten. I think it comes in 3 colors and it wears so well all day. It doesn't settle into pores because this is actually a highlighter. Once we get it on our eyes, then I want to take a real loose, fluffy brush. This is MAC 107S. I'm gonna take that and just use it a little bit on this highlighter because we wanna go, now you can use your fingers, you don't need a brush for this. I just wanna go right on top of that blush that we put on earlier on both sides so that I'm having some coordination between my eyes and my cheeks. And then I like to put just a little bit on the tip of my nose. The highlight part's done, now we'll go back to the eyes. Now, if you do not like to curl your lashes, you can skip this part. I definitely think curling the lashes makes a big difference. I know some of you feel differently. I was thinking about a complete guide, like a girlfriend's guide to things that you need in your toolkit as we age, and I can't imagine being without my eyelash curler. So that's in there. Next, we're gonna go with an eyeliner, and I am just using the Smashbox Always Sharp. And the reason I love this is because the sharpener is in the lid, and it's always sharp. And I'm using dark brown, I think this is Violetta. And I'm just gonna hold my eye out and go on right at the base of my eyelashes. I'm not trying to create a liner look. I'm not trying to create a wing per se, but I'm just trying to make the base of my lashes look thicker than they are by going over my eyelids right where those lashes come into or come out of my skin. And I'm going from outer corner to where the lashes stop. So I'm not trying to come too far into the inner corner, just gonna go where the lashes go. Because we're just trying to look as though we have our 19-year-old eyelashes back. Which I have to say that Revitalash has definitely, that Revitalash mask has made a difference in the way my lashes look. And by that I mean I think they look thicker, which is so awesome. Next I'm gonna go in with just a big wide fluffy brush, and I wanna just blend ever so slightly that bronzer that we put in that outer corner and just pull it ever so slightly above the rim or the eye socket without really spreading that color everywhere, but just blend what's left on, but just get a little of it from the brush and blend it. And we'll do the same over here. I'm not trying to add color, I'm just trying to blend the darker color into that lighter highlighter that we used by going through the socket of the eye, not over the eyelid. Next, grab a pencil brush, whatever pencil brush you have. I'm gonna go with my Sigma smudge brush. This is Sigma's E21. And I'm gonna go back to the same bronzer that we've been using. And again, this is 2 to 3 shades darker than your foundation, so whatever that is for you. Get that product on the tip of my brush. I don't want to get it on the sides of the brush. I want it on the tip so that when I put it under my eye, no product gets below my eye. It only gets where the tip of this touches my skin. And that's important so that we don't get too much color underneath our eye and look as though it has bled down, if it's melted down our face. You know what I mean. We've all had those makeup days where it looks good when we leave the house, and then a few hours later, somehow it is like taking on a marathon jog down your face. You're like, what? How did that happen? We're just gonna try to avoid that by our placement in the beginning. And we're not trying to really add color here. We're just trying to give a little bit of, again, thickness to our base of our lashes. And a little bit more dimension to the face. And I'm gonna go on the bottom part of the lashes till halfway. So for me, halfway, then it starts to curve back up. I don't want the line from my shadow to be at the point where it starts to curve back up. If you feel like your eyes are droopy, then only pull this out to about a quarter, wherever your eye starts to sag and go back up like the bottom of a horseshoe. When it goes back up, that's where you'll want to stop putting your color. Next, we're gonna go to whatever eyeshadow you're using that is one of the darker colors. And by that, I just mean 2 to 3 shades darker than the bronze color that you used. So I'm gonna use the ColourPop By The Rose, and I'm gonna use the color Savor It, which is just this darker color. And that's because it will pair nicely with this bronzer that we used. We just want it to be a little bit darker. I'm using that same Sigma smudge brush. And I'm gonna put that right at the corner of my eye, not all on the higher part and not all in the lower part, but right as if I was drawing a line right at that corner. So it's okay if it goes a little bit below into your lower lashes and a little bit in the higher lashes. We just wanna color that point. So right there, I'm just gonna color the point. And what we're trying to achieve with this is about the width of this brush on the bottom of the lash and a width of this brush on the top of the lash. That's why the size of this is pretty important, because you don't want it to smudge too far. So you can see right there is the corner of my eye. The outer corner of my eye is right there. So I want that color to go no farther in than the width of that brush. And that is for the top as well. And we just want a little bit of color. And once you put that color across the bottom that's that width and across the top that's that width, then you're just gonna connect the two together. And then you can just grab any fluffy brush that you have and just sort of blend it just ever so slightly. This is one that we don't want to blur the colors. We want that color to stay right where we put it. So instead of rubbing it and blending it, you just kind of want to pat it so that you're pushing it in and ensuring that there's no harsh lines. There. Okay, I hope you are doing this look with me and that you are liking it so far. Then at this stage, I would just go back in with your concealer or your foundation, whichever one you want. I'm just gonna use the foundation because it's right here. I really like these Real Technique sponges because it has that flat edge and that line. And I'm just gonna go right back through there to ensure that I have not brought that shadow down below my eye too far. Really more in that temple area than anything else. Now remember, because we put that darker color of the shadow a little bit below, you don't want to cover over that. We just want to give this a little bit of a cleaned up look. And then I'll go over that again just to have a little, make sure I didn't completely take it away and make it look like I had a line there. There. Super, super simple, right? Okay, and from there we will go with our mascara, and I'm just going to use the Ilia Fullest Volumizing, and we're going to go on the top lashes and the bottom lashes. I know what's happening to me. I don't normally do that, huh? But it's summer and we're doing it. I mean, don't we just love big, full, fluttery lashes? I love that. You could use this Clinique Lash Building Primer on top of your lashes before your mascara, and I have been doing that, and I do think that the combination of the Revitalash every other day, the Revitalash mask Wednesdays and Sundays, and then this Clinique Lash Primer as the pre-treatment before I do my mascara. Every time I do my mascara, I think it's been a nice healthy combination. And I'm just putting that bottom mascara where we put the bronze eyeshadow color. I'm not going any farther in than that because I don't want to have mascara under the whole eye, just that outer corner. Next, I'm going to go with a little bit of light translucent powder. And in this case, I'm using the Goss The Weightless Powder. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my fingers and then press that just underneath my eye. Now that I've made sure that I don't have any product under my eye, I don't have anything else that I don't want there. I've just got that primer, some concealer, and now this powder. Okay, so what do you guys think? And you like the look so far? It's very natural, bronzy-like. And then we will finish off with our lips, and I'm just gonna use the Some days, they're just days that you just should not be on camera. I am going to use the Natasha Denona, not try to shorthand that word. I need a nude lip liner, and we're just gonna line our lips with that. Slightly overlining because it's in, and that's one trend I would like to see stick around for a while. What about you guys? Do you guys have a favorite trend from the 90s that you loved in makeup and you still wear it today? Or if you don't wear it today, you wish it came back so that you'd wear it? I love people that don't care what the trends are and they just wear whatever they want. But is there something that you did in the 90s with your makeup that you're like, gosh, I can't wait for that to come back? Because we know it will come back eventually. For crying out loud, puffy sleeves came back. So I have no doubt any trend that we used to do would come back at this stage. I'm a believer that all things come, we've lived long enough now to know that things come round and round. And then I'm going to go over that with the NARS lip gloss, and this is in Nympho, and just give that a little bit of a, it's just a very, it looks much darker in the bottle than it is, but it just adds a little bit of gloss. Now you could use a second coat of mascara here, or you could do a waterproof, or you could stop. I'm gonna go in with the second coat being the waterproof because I don't want a real thick, heavy lash today. And this is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. I really do love this waterproof mascara. And I'm just gonna go over those lashes just to help ensure that I don't get color transfer down below my eyes. Now, if you wear glasses, this is a step I would highly recommend just because it does help with that transfer. Because again, as you know, if you have glasses, anything that gets darker underneath your eyes just seems to be that much more magnified, and you already get the reflection of your lenses, that darkness. If you have darker lenses, you get that reflection in your eye where the lens is. So you just don't want to have anything add any extra darkness to your eyes, if at all possible, especially underneath the eyes. It just adds a tired look to your eyes, and it can just make you look a little bit older than what you are. So there you go, you guys. I hope you did this fun summer spring bronzy tutorial for mature skin with me. It's just a fun look. It's very light. It's not colorful per se, but it just gives a nice, healthy, no makeup look, up a notch, somewhere between a soft glam and a no makeup look. Meet somewhere in the middle, would you say? I think so. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I sure had a fun time putting this look together with you. If you did this look, leave me a comment. Let me know how you liked it. I'd love to know what you think of that Wayne Goss foundation if you've picked it up. I am a huge fan of it, and at a price point of $38, I'd say it's a pretty good buy. So enjoy the tutorial, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.